Hello, Johnson High School students. So my name is Masi Mejia, and I am the educator for the East Foundation. So the East Foundation has 217,000 acres of ranchland here in South Texas, and we have that ranchland spread out across 6 different ranches south of Heavenville all the way across the coast to Port Mansfield. And our mission is to promote the advancement of land stewardship through ranching, science, and education. So as the educator for the East Foundation, what I actually do is I go into classrooms right now virtually and teach students about science, wildlife, natural resources, and agriculture with the hopes that we can bring students out onto the land. Now, in a typical work week, non-COVID, I'm typically on the road. I cover 7 counties where I teach these students, from Cotula down to Zapata across to Falfurrias or Berks County. And I go into the classroom about 3 days out of the week. One day I'm out on the ranch, and one day I'm working from home, catching up on emails and different things like that. With quarantine and COVID now, that has shifted. I've been working strictly from home and traveling as needed to the different ranches to record any material that we need for what we call virtual field lessons. So I'm actually from Laredo. I actually went to United High School as a part of the magnet there, and then I continued on to Texas Tech University, where I got a bachelor's degree, which takes 4 years in environmental conservation of natural resources. After that, I continued on with a master's degree in wildlife science, and that took me 3 years. And so I got to do a lot of exciting things. I went to Africa, did research there. I worked on a private island in the British Virgin Islands, and I did research there. I've taken blood from turtles, tortoises, horned lizards, rattlesnakes, white-tailed deer. I've gotten to fly in a helicopter for research. I've gotten to learn how to do tranquilization of animals. I've collected scat, which is animal poop, and I got paid to do that. And I've had a pretty fun job doing all different types of research with different types of animals and working with plants, even endangered species. So those are definitely some activities and opportunities that you can do with a degree in this field. Now, as the educator, like I said, I go into classrooms and teach students about everything that I've done and everything that the East Foundation does. So I'm going to read off some tips that we were encouraged to respond about. So what interest led me to this career? So I actually, when I was an 8th grader, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And so I had a veterinarian friend say, "Masi, do you think that you can deal with putting down animals every day?" And I said, "Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to save all of them." And so that was kind of a shift in my career path for me. I then got to go on a hunting trip where I harvested my first white-tailed deer on the King Ranch. So the King Ranch is a ranch that is very large. You can get the state of Rhode Island, flip it like a top, and you still wouldn't hit the perimeter of the ranch. And so I did that through a program called Texas Youth Hunting Program. And so we went out, harvested my first deer, and it just so happened that the guide that was with me happened to be the biologist for the King Ranch. So when we were field dressing the animal, he took the time to name all of its anatomy, its heart, omason, abomason, and for me, I was hooked. I was elbow deep in deer anatomy, and I knew that I wanted to do something that would keep me outside and would be super awesome, just like how he was showing me. So I probably made that career choice around 8th to 9th grade. I was very fortunate that my mother, she was a teacher, and she encouraged me to do whatever it is that I wanted to do, as long as I'm not a teacher. Now, hindsight, I'm a natural resource educator, so I still get to do what I love to do, but I get to teach students similar to my mom. So another thing is education and training. So for this type of career field, it is very highly encouraged that you have both hardworking skills, hands-on skills, along with a master's degree. So now, to be competitive in the field of wildlife or natural resources, you really do need that master's degree, not only for getting to the top of wherever your application falls in an applicant pool, but also ensuring that you are paid well, right, for salary. So for salary, I am paid pretty well, but I get to do what I love. And on top of that, when you're choosing a career, you want to make sure that you are covered benefit wise. So making sure that you have health insurance, which includes medical, dental, vision. Who's paying for that? Are you paying for that, or is your company paying for that? I also have a company cell phone, which is pretty awesome, that I get to use. And lots of other things like retirement. So one thing to keep in mind with the retirement, like for me, for the lifestyle that I want to live, I need to save up to $2 million in my retirement account, because that's how much I need to live off the interest to live the lifestyle that I want, which is having, you know, the latest iPhone 12 or the latest car or anything like that. So my responsibilities and the hours that I work, because I'm salary, it's really just dependent on what needs to get done. So for example, in a typical work week, I'm usually traveling 3 days out of the week to different schools across 7 different counties, and then on top of that, I travel 1 day to the ranch where we have students visit the ranch, and then 1 day working from home. So it has been nice right now during COVID, right, that I get to work from home, because now I get to work a nice 8 to 5 type job. Prior to that, I'm usually on the road by 6 a.m. and getting home 6 p.m. or later. So what tools do you use on the job? So right now I'm using my iPhone. I also bought this nice mic and stuff so that I could record videos like this, not only for you all, but for our virtual field lessons, as we have moved virtual. So it really just depends. I never saw myself having to buy a Mac computer for work, or having work buy me a Mac computer so that I would have to be doing video editing, but we adapt. And I think that's probably a very, very important soft skill for you all to have, is to be able to adapt to your work environment. And so I've been very fortunate that I have supportive supervisors for that. The atmosphere that I work in, it really just depends. Some days I'm out at the ranch, some days I'm in the classroom, some days I'm working from my home office. And then aspects that I find most rewarding for my career. So I think getting to visit with students is probably my most favorite part of my job, is getting students excited about science, wildlife, and natural resources, and seeing those students grow. So we have a high school program called Land Stewardship Ambassadors, where we invite students to apply to be a part of this 10-week program. So if you have an interest in wildlife, natural resources, agriculture, anything like that, we encourage you to apply. And then we actually provide you with a $400 stipend. So for being a part of that program, which is no cost for you, you actually get to get a $400 check, which is pretty nice. So as a student, and knowing what I know now, I would encourage you all to take advantage of dual credit. I know 10 years ago when I was in high school, I took 3 dual credit classes, and that was a lot back then. And now you all are very fortunate that you can graduate with an associate's degree. So I would definitely push for that, not only to excel and prepare yourself academically, but the financial reward. So as an undergraduate, I graduated with about $27,000 of student loans, and the payment plan that I'm on, that'll probably take me about 2050. That's when I'll pay that off. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long, because interest is expensive, but that's definitely something to consider, especially if you want to retire early. I know many of us, maybe you have a part-time job or something like that where you do have to work. I know teachers, you all might be excited counting down the days until you retire, but I would take advantage of that and take advantage of any opportunity that you can while you're in high school. I'm going to put my contact information so that you all are welcome to contact me. Should you all have any questions, comments, concerns, my name, my email, and my phone number will be in this video. So feel free to reach out, and have a great day.